Hey there! This week I thought we could have a little bit of fun because, I think the world is crazy right now. There's a lot going on and we have the COVID and all this stuff. And I want to have some fun. So in this video, I actually thought I'm going to show you what t-shirts you can wear as a developer. And you probably noticed sometime that I like to have different cool, in my opinion, t-shirts. And I also like retro t-shirts and I like a lot of retro stuff. So I'm going to show you a few t-shirts you can wear as a developer. And in this case, you can see that I have the old game Bubble Bobble. I played it a lot on my Commodore 64 and my Amiga. And also in the arcade halls, I think, So that's what I'm going to show you. Just have a little bit of fun today. And we're going to check out a few t-shirts that I think you can wear as a developer. I really hope you like this one. I think it's going to be fun to step away from coding and just talk about other stuff that actually can be related to coding, because it's very important what you wear when you code or not, Now, when most of us work remotely, you can probably sit there nude and no one will even care. So it's probably not that important, but at least I think it's fun. So I'm going to show you a few t-shirts and let's kick this off with number one. And that's the Commodore 64 t-shirt. I actually have this one myself. So this is from the Commodore 64. When you load something from the disk, you type this one in load, and you have this quotes and an asterisk, (8, 1, and that will load. And I actually don't remember now. I think it loads the directory on the disk. I don't remember because it's probably 30 years since I did this. But it's a cool t-shirt, and there's a lot of Commodore 64 t-shirts out there. If you're a fan of Commodore and Commodore 64 and you had one as a child, it could be fun to have a t-shirt like this. So that's number one. Number two, and that's almost the same, it's the Amiga t-shirt. So this is the start picture on the Amiga 500. And this is the version 1.3. That's the version that I had on my Amiga 500 also. So there's a lot of cool Amiga t-shirts out there also to wear. If you like that and if you had an Amiga, I actually have one right here beside me, but that's an Amiga 600. I had both a 500 and a 600 when I was a kid. So I bought this one a while ago, and sometimes I play retro games with friends and stuff. But now there aren't much friends here in these times because we can't have people visiting in the Corona times. So I haven't played it in a while. But Amiga was kind of the breakthrough on a lot of stuff with computers. I don't think we should have, for example, Photoshop today if it wasn't for Deluxe Paint, as it was called on Amiga. So Amiga is a pretty important computer in our time. So that's why I think this is a t-shirt you can wear and be proud of if you had an Amiga when you were a kid. All right, and then we have my t-shirt that I actually wear now, and that's the Bubble Bobble. But in fact, there's a lot of t-shirts that have prints on them with retro games, and I think a lot of them can be really cool also. They look really great because the graphics that we had back then in the 80s, it was super cool, and also probably in the beginning of the 90s. So there's a lot of cool t-shirts. If you Google on this, you can find on old games that looks really, really great. And I like those vintage kind of stylish games. So that can make up for a really cool t-shirt. All right, and then of course, we need to have something from Star Wars. And there's also thousands of them out there. And this one, I particularly like this one because it's a cool print and it looks a little bit retro. So that's what I like about this, and it has a nice color. So I'm actually thinking about buying this one myself. And you probably have noticed that I'm a big Star Wars fan, so that's why I recommend a Star Wars t-shirt also. And you can, of course, wear it even if you don't love coding and stuff like that. So, but a good, nice Star Wars t-shirt is always right, I think. All right, then we have more specific t-shirts about coding. And this one here that I found is for Git. So Git commit, Git push, and Git out t-shirt. So that's a cool t-shirt you can wear if you want to set a statement that you're using Git when you code. And there's also a lot of these t-shirts out there. So in this video, I just select one. So if you don't like it, but you like the concept, you can Google it and find a lot of other t-shirts that has the same concept but different prints. And this one is actually for women, and that's cool because we need more women in the coding world. All right, and then we have from Gatsby, they have their own shop. And I actually have another Gatsby t-shirt that is gray with a very subtle print of the Gatsby logo. So this one is the purple one, and you can order, get Gatsby swag for free. You can get some for free. And this one is really cheap. They just sell it for the self-cost on these t-shirts. So it's cool to have a Gatsby t-shirt if you love building stuff with Gatsby. And Gatsby, if you didn't know it, it's a static site generator. So it's super cool. It uses React and GraphQL, and you can build super fast static websites with Gatsby. So that's a nice t-shirt to wear as a coder. Then, of course, my love to React has to be shown somewhere here in this video. So I also want to recommend a React t-shirt, and there's also a lot of them. This is just the first one I found that has the React logo on it. If you don't like this, that looks very clean, I think, with just the logo, the blue logo, the React logo. You can Google it and find other React t-shirts also. So that's, I think, is 7 of them. And the last t-shirt that I'm going to show you is actually not something related to coding, or it can be actually, because I love those 80s movies. And here I have this one. I actually own this one myself. It's Back to the Future. There's a lot of cool t-shirts out there that has prints from cool 80s movies. And also there's a fair amount of pretty cool hacker movies from the 80s. And I'm actually thinking about doing another video on showing you some cool 80s hackers movies that you can watch as a developer. So I think this is a cool one. Have at least a few of these t-shirts at home, I think, where you have some cool print from the 80s movies. And actually the Star Wars t-shirt is actually from a movie, but this one is from the 70s. So if you have one from The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, you will be entering the 80s. But this one is from 78, Star Wars. So that's from the 70s. Hopefully this gave you an idea on what t-shirts you can find that's cool to wear as a developer. And if you like retro stuff that I do and the 80s, where I grew up and I learned most of my basic stuff with the computers as a child. All right, see you in another one.